Hi, are you interested in more balance in your life? What if I told you you didn't have to wait until you hit overwhelm and shutting down and you're experiencing exhaustion, depletion, lashing out at other people? What if you just intuitively sensed and already knew that you needed to make adjustments in other areas of your life or give some areas more focus, and it actually eliminated you reaching that point of depletion? That's what you're about to experience in this next exercise. Hi, my name is Ty, the Spirit Messenger, and I offer spiritual support for self mastery. What you're going to be listening to next has a little bit of my energetic download and entrainment medicine. And it's really important that you know that up front first and that you say yes to what happens next for you to experience that knowing, that divine yes or no when it comes to clouds or chaos in your life. Now, trust me, following through and practicing what's being guided, what you're being instructed, is going to get you halfway. But there is a taste of energy medicine. You'll be able to experience what I offer on my platform, the Spirit Tribe, that's hosted on Patreon. And if you like that, tune in afterwards. Tell me about the results that you receive, and I'll tell you how to get more of this.
So, if you are ready, I'm going to dive into this conversation about balance, but I'm actually being guided to bring in Creator, Source, God into this conversation and starting to create that energetic field that spans out where the activations that would serve your highest good are going to start happening. So um, I'm going to affirm, I hope you already have a glass of water nearby. And this is the time and point where you would probably want to have a nice comfy seat on the couch or go lay down somewhere because the energy is about to get thick, heavy, whatever you want to call it. Creator of all that is, thank you so much for providing this sacred space for each listener today. Please clear their energy field and the space around them of any and all energy fragments that would no longer serve their highest good, any debris that would interfere with the transmissions that would bring them into alignment with your divine light. Please zap away any thoughts, thought forms, or projections that would cause interference, resistance, or prevent them from receiving the downloads and activations that would serve their highest good. Please help each listener on the call that receives the downloads, activations, clearings, and reprogramming to their default systems. Please provide them the logic and the reasoning, their personal history to go along with what it is that they're receiving today that would serve their highest good. So what that means is by you saying yes to a download or activation today that you intuitively sense or feel or know that you need, what I'm doing is I'm creating the space for Creator, Source, God, archangels, guardian angels, the divine, to provide information specifically to you as to why this download or activation was necessary, maybe if you have doubt that this is even possible, whatever it is that you may have some inquiry about, the divine, I'm asking the divine to show up and give you the proof that is necessary so that your mind's like, okay, I got this. I believe this. I understand now. Thank you. Because obviously the divine gives us these energetic, through these transfers, you get like shortcuts to an understanding, to a lesson. And sometimes it takes your conscious and subconscious mind a little while to bite these pieces proverbially and chew them up and swallow it in a way where you totally get what Ty was talking about and understand what this relates to and where it's going. Okay. So what I'm observing now is Creator Source God actually extracting any and all thoughts and fears. And actually, even I'm hearing the word coercion, which I've never included in a call before. Okay. So what I'm seeing in reference to this word is I'm seeing almost like a long-handled hook where somebody will say something to you that almost feels like a jab and a drag into a conversation or into a circumstance, where you're almost being like convinced to go along with somebody else's thinking. And so what Creator Source God is arriving at is he or they. You'll notice I use a lot of male pronouns because that's been my association for like the last 11 years, and that's just what feels more comfortable for me. A lot of people refer to the divine with feminine pronouns or with neutral. So please don't take that as me pushing something on you that doesn't resonate. It's just, it's just habit for me. So what I'm actually seeing is God, Creator Source God, like removing, helping us build a shield up and a resistance to being pulled along, to being dragged in, to even our need, our desire to cater to something like that out of obligation. So we're going to build up a little bit of a wall of resistance to that, where we kind of stop and ask ourselves, do I really belong in that situation or scenario? God's going to give us the effort to observe it, that space, to kind of see it for what it is, and feel stronger about making the decision to leave that situation on that particular occasion alone when it does not serve our highest and best interests and may actually pull or detract us away from our goals or pursuing our career plans or our personal objectives. So if you are ready and willing to receive that, it's a conversation, extraction, and a download from the divine, say yes to that now. This is going to make you stronger, feel stronger in your own space and in your own knowing, your own intuition, because when we're being dragged around in somebody else's issues or problems, we get involved in their results, their circumstances, and it really takes us away from our own. And that kind of being dragged back and forth, going back and forth, it actually causes our intuition to be a little sketchy. So this is going to also help us maintain much more balance and where our thoughts and our focus and ideas are. I'm just seeing like this bubble or envelope of protection going around each one of us. So we'll actually be, as a result of what we're receiving right now, people will actually ask us to interfere in their problems or matters even less. Because what Creator Source God is doing is actually changing the vibration or the space around you, so that it has almost like a message on the door that says, ask someone else. Um, Peacekeeping, um, which feels kind of nice. Okay. Creator Source God is saying that this download and this extraction was absolutely, this healing was absolutely necessary for us to be able to pull through and perform the balance exercise that's coming up for us. So one of the things that I was asked to share that came from my meditation is the word balance, and kind of how the divine is defining it. And the divine is referring to the word balance as equal parts that are being measured. And so, one of the things we're going to be doing today is helping you to determine where you might be out of balance. Everybody talks about balance, but a lot of times we don't know that our life, our stories, or who we are and who we're showing up as, we don't realize that things are out of balance until we experience a crash, a burnout, a deficit in our bank account. Some problem usually has to present itself for us to take a step back and go, oh, I'm not in balance in this situation or in this area. So, ta-da! The divine is going to help us today to help us establish a sense of and to give us more control and understanding, and realizing when the scales, when those parts, how to measure them and realize that they're out of balance before it turns into a problem in our circumstance. So I'm like, hallelujah, to that, because I am actually a person that like suffers along in silence, and then I get loud, and then I keep doing whatever it is until there's a full-on problem. So I am 100% excited about this support, this shift, because I know I could use it. I don't raise your hand if you think you're one of those people that just help out, help out, help out, help out, or do the laundry, do the laundry, do the laundry, and then you're completely frustrated by maybe other people not pulling their weight or whatever it is. So if you can relate to that, then you might be just as excited as I am to find out today how we can feel that out and determine what's best for ourselves and what areas we need to look at and maybe do differently, show up differently. So the divine says if we wait until we are aggravated or overwhelmed, we've already let ourselves go too far. And so this exercise is going to help us determine where we can shift our focus, direction, and intention to line up to much more peace and ease. I love peace and I love ease, so I'm very excited about this. So I'm going to close my eyes and see how they want us to do this. So the divine is actually helping us to explore a place and a reference in our mind's eye. So close your eyes, take a deep, relaxing breath right now. And if you can, imagine or summon the sense, image, or idea of scales. Um, and these would be the kind of scales that like Lady Justice uses, where you have, two sides with an ability to each side to hold weight. And then I'm going to start giving you some references, and I want you to examine and feel out which side might need some adjustment, which area might need some change. So take a deep breath and really relax into this with me. On your scales, I want you to imagine one on each side. Work and play. Notice if one side is heavy or the other is light. Which side do you need more of? And now I'm going to ask that the divine give you ideas to explore and shift that. And the next two are, for your scales, are give and receive. Is one side more than the other? And I'm going to ask that the divine inspires you with ideas to explore and adjust that. The next areas for you to examine, to weigh up on your scales, are rest and relaxation on one side, and productivity and doing on the other. Rest and relaxation on one side, doing and productivity on the other. Asking for the divine support to help you to explore and adjust that. Whatever areas that you might sense a deficit in, give yourself permission to make the changes that will serve your highest good without shame or guilt. Relaxing into it with grace and ease and divine order. Some of you may want to weigh up and measure your self-care and indulgence versus service and support for others. Where there is too much or not enough, we ask the divine to support you in ideas to create change and make adjustments. That's a hawk, if you can hear that in the background. All right, this next one is going to be about your food intake. Some of you might like to put your hands on your torso or raise your hands with your palms upward in your lap. In your mind's eye, I'd like for you to pay attention to and examine your torso, where your body receives nutrients, and ask this space what it wants more of to sustain maximum health. Then ask if there are things your body wants you to avoid. Now, based on the exercise that we just did, you might want to take a moment to take a few notes because there's a good chance that you had a lot of insight come to you. So I'm going to give you a moment of silence to do that.
So, I'm really excited to find out what you sensed, what you noticed, and what you learned in that exercise. So, be sure to leave a comment below. I love the feedback. Subscribe to my channel. Although, I do have to warn you, you won't be seeing a whole lot of those energetic entrainment files on YouTube on this platform. It's just not the right place for it for healing and guidance, but I wanted to give you a small sample of what you might find. And if you would like to listen to the rest of that Holy Shift call, it's called Balance, Grace, and More Joy. I'll give you 3 guesses what you're going to find by listening to that call. I do one of these calls every single month for my spirit tribe that's hosted on Patreon. If you'd like to become a member, you can start out just $5 a month. And I'd love to see you there, becoming a master of thyself. So if you liked it and you'd like to try some more, there's another free sample on Spirit Tribe that's hosted on Patreon. So I'm going to put the link down below and check that out. I would love to have you join us as you discover your self mastery. In the meantime, good luck with your flow and staying in balance. Please feel free to share this out with your friends and refer back to it from time to time when you're feeling a little lopsided. Take care.